Someone was lying in bed with me, their breath perfectly synchronized with mine. I just got home after spending a week at my cousin's house, and I'm convinced that something is seriously wrong with my aunt. I told my parents about everything, hoping they'd understand how disturbing the whole experience was. They assured me they'd talk to her and figure out what was going on, but now she won't even return their calls. It feels like they're not doing anything, and the truth is, the whole thing has left me deeply shaken. It all started when my mom told me I'd be staying with my cousin while she and my dad went on their anniversary trip, something I wasn't exactly thrilled about. For one, they never took me on any of their trips, and for another, I didn't particularly like my cousin. His name was Austin, and he was a very whiny child. One year, at my birthday party, he cried because I got the toy that he always wanted, and to everyone's surprise, my aunt and uncle left the party and came back an hour later with the same exact toy that I'd gotten, but for him instead. Luckily, we were the same age, which, unfortunately, barely helped. Our interests couldn't have been further apart, something I was instantly reminded of the moment I arrived at his house. My uncle greeted us at the door with my cousin, Austin, standing behind him. Welcome in, he said cheerfully. Okay, buddy, we'll see you in a week. Have fun, my mom called out as she gave me a quick hug. My dad chimed in with a forced grin. He's been so excited about this. Yeah, right. Austin led me to the guest room where I'd be staying, where I dropped my stuff off. Then, he took me to his room. Well, these are my wrestling toys, he said, motioning proudly to a pile of bulky, plastic muscle men action figures. Uh, I'm good, I said flatly, making it clear that I've outgrown that kind of stuff. Trying to change the subject, I asked, can we go explore the woods in your backyard? As much as I didn't like my cousin, I still remembered how cool their property was. Dense trees, winding trails, and a large creek running through all of it. Austin's face changed right after hearing my question. No, Mom will be home soon, he said with a slight frown. And? I asked, raising an eyebrow. Why does that matter? He didn't answer right away. Instead, he looked down at the pile of toys, paused, then sat cross-legged on the floor. She just won't like that, he muttered. For about an hour, we just sat there, catching up, and I could tell Austin wanted to tell me something. However, before he could, my aunt came through the door, loudly welcoming me into their home. The sight of her scared me. She had a lot of makeup on, much lighter than her natural skin tone, and she wore blue and green eyeshadow with bright red lipstick, which wasn't exactly perfect. Did you guys play with the fighterman? She asked as she rushed to the ground beside Austin, grabbing one of the toys and stringing him up by his arms. She bounced him up and down, moving toward me. Her face then froze in a goofy grin as she held an uncomfortable pose. I froze, and just as I was about to say something, she did instead. Dinner! She barked, and tossed the toy aside and ran out of the room in a scurry, my uncle hanging his head low as he followed. Dinner was god-awful, to say the least. It was some sort of mix between blood soup and skin gumbo, which I had no problem expressing my disinterest in. My aunt ate as if she would never have another meal again, pouring the blood-colored soup all over her face, mixing with her caked-on makeup. She then let out a laugh I hadn't heard in a while. My Aunt Marie always had a funny and unique laugh. That much I remembered. I asked to be excused, as my stomach had begun to hurt, and after offering me something else for dinner, my uncle excused me so I could go lie down. Shortly after going to the guest room, I was already feeling better, but the room was very stuffy, which led me to ask for a fan. Austin brought me his fan from his room and apologized to me. I'm really sorry, man, he said with a frown. For what? I asked, as I plugged the fan in and received immediate relief. For whatever happens, Austin replied as he left the guest room. I was perplexed by the statement, but chalked it up to his mom's behavior and prepared to fall asleep. As I drifted off to sleep, lulled by the sound of my cousin's wind tunnel fan, I was suddenly jolted awake by something. At first, I couldn't tell what it was. Then, I felt a slight pressure on the bed and noticed that my eyes couldn't adjust to the darkness. In front of me stretched a pitch-black void, and that's when I realized what had woken me. Someone was lying in bed with me, their breathing perfectly synchronized with mine. Panic set in. I tried to move away, but as I did, hands grabbed me. The more I struggled, the tighter their grip became, until I managed to kick the intruding figure off the bed. I scrambled to my feet and rushed to turn on the lights, but they wouldn't work. With my back to the door, I crept toward it, desperate to escape. As soon as I turned the knob, rapid footsteps slapped across the room toward me. I flinched and fell to the side, just as the black mass shot past, slamming the door behind it. Then, I heard it laughing, its voice growing fainter as it moved down the hall. And that's when a chilling thought struck me. Was that Aunt Marie's laugh? Thank you for staying until the end of the show. I appreciate you giving me some of your time, and I look forward to seeing you again. If you can tell me what you enjoyed about today's episode, that will help me so I can know what things to give you more of. This story came from Reddit user landobandoz, so I hope you enjoyed and comment down below if you did. The original story for this episode will be in the description below. And if you want to listen to more of my voice, you can listen to all of the episodes in the series here. This is typically the part of the show where I tell you how you can find me on Spotify and other places, but part of the reason I was gone for so long was because Spotify actually took down my entire show. According to them, I was uploading content from Invisible Dark when I wasn't allowed to, even though I am Invisible Dark. I tried to fight them to return my show to me for months, but I received no helpful or useful reply from them, and they literally told me there was nothing I could do, and they denied all of my appeals to get my show back. So, that's why you haven't seen as much of me as of recent. However, worry not, because until I find a solution, YouTube will be my home for now. Where you can catch my daily, yes, daily episodes of chilling stories from the dark. That's me, by the way. I'm the dark. And if you have a story that you would like to recommend to me, then you can reach out to me via Reddit, Discord, or email. Those methods of communication will also be in the description down below. Again, if you enjoyed today's episode, tune in for the next story or just go back and watch the last one. But until then, I hope you watch the shadows that lurk just beyond your sight. Thank you for listening, and to all, good night.